We are now less than 3 weeks away until Liverpool return again, with the club taking on Manchester City in the first game back from the World Cup break. Whilst it is great to see some festive footy back, a lot of talk with regards to Liverpool Football Club will be who the club are going to sign come January, as the Reds are touted to spend big this winter. In today's video, we take a look at some potential targets, as reports already are throwing around a few names which could get the Reds fans excited. Not only do we provide you with potential transfer targets, but we also give you the latest on the Liverpool Takeover and go through a Liverpool World Cup roundup. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. The transfer merry-go-round swings back into action on January 1st as teams across the Premier League and Football League get the chance to buy, sell and loan players once again. Traditionally a difficult time to make big moves, but the best in the business still always find a way to make themselves better. After an inconsistent start to the season, Liverpool are expected to be one of those clubs. In the first part of today's video, we are going to discuss the 4 players that are being heavily linked with the club ahead of the winter window and see how likely or unlikely it will if they will sign these players. Sofyan Amrabat. Liverpool are one of many Premier League clubs targeting Sofyan Amrabat as he continues to catch the eye for Morocco at the World Cup. Sky Sports Germany claim the Reds are interested in signing the Fiorentina midfielder, who helped his nation beat the likes of Croatia and Belgium to top Group F. There has been plenty of clamour for Liverpool to rejuvenate their midfield, and while Jude Bellingham is their priority target, alternatives with a lower price tag are also being sounded out for January. Florian Plettenberg confirmed the club's interest in a tweet and claimed Liverpool will need to spend €30 million to land the midfielder. Amrabat joined Fiorentina from Club Brugge in 2020, following a loan spell with Hellas Verona, elsewhere in the Serie A, having previously played with FC Utrecht and Feyenoord Rotterdam. He is an all-action, box-to-box midfielder whose strength comes in possession, and he ranks in the 97% in terms of progressive passes per 90 across Europe's top 5 leagues. Due to the sources reporting on this, I do believe this could be an addition this January, and I'm going to rank this rumour as likely to come true. Enzo Fernandez. Another midfielder being linked with a move to the football club this winter is Argentinian midfielder Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez has not only shone for Benfica so far this season, but has also caught the eye in the World Cup. According to the Sport Witness, Liverpool one of those clubs keeping a close eye on the player ahead of the January transfer window. The report does state that any club wishing to sign Fernandez must pay his full €120 million release clause, and this may prove to be too much for the Reds next month, and whilst he could be one for the future, I do think this one is unlikely this winter. Moises Casado. Another midfielder being touted with a move this January is Brighton's Moises Casado. The Ecuadorian's career trajectory is very familiar. It has all the hallmarks for someone who ends up at Liverpool, and just as he's about to explode. Casado has all of the attributes to fulfill any role within a Liverpool midfield, be that in a 4-3-3 or as a part of a 4-4-2 we have seen in large parts of the season, and having only turned 21, there is ample of time for the manager to mould him into a player he feels like can serve the club best moving forwards. His age profile suggests that he could act as a long-term successor to fellow South American Fabinho at the base of the midfield, but there's every chance he could be viewed as an option further up the pitch. This one again, I feel it could be likely, and is definitely one to keep your eye on as we get closer to January. Mohammed Kuddus. Surprise, surprise, it is another midfielder being linked to the football club, and the final player we're going to discuss is Mohammed Kuddus. Kuddus' name popped up around a week ago with a handful of reputable sources claiming the club could make a move for the Ghanaian international. Kuddus currently plays for Ajax Amsterdam and so far this season has lit up the Eredivisie. Kuddus offers something completely different to the players that we mentioned and operates as a number 10 and is a goal-scoring midfielder. Klopp's teams generally don't feature a bona fide number 10, although Roberto Firmino often occupies those areas you'd associate with one. This one could definitely be one to watch also, as Kuddus is just 22 years old and can definitely be a potential option. A lot of talk with regards to Liverpool since the World Cup started has been about a potential takeover after it was announced that FSG were open to selling the club. FSG remain in talks with potential investors over both minority and majority investment into Liverpool after it emerged last month that a sale was being sought. A number of prospective buyers have been suggested, from the Middle East to the United States, while others have been swiftly ruled out. The Boston Globe's Michael Silverman has remained a key source of information on the search of an investment as a correspondent of the publication owned by John W. Henry. Silverman has now brought out an update reporting that FSG are leaning towards a partial sale, with an investor purchasing part of Liverpool more likely than brand new owners. It is unclear whether this represents a shift in the emphasis from FSG, with the public stance always being a third-party investment was their target. But it is interesting that Silverman notes that there has been no compelling offer when it comes to the sale of Liverpool. The group phases of the World Cup has already concluded, and the round of 16 has already begun in the World Cup. In this part of the video, we're going to go through the Liverpool 7 who are representing their nations in Qatar and see how they're getting on. Jordan Henderson and Trent AlexanderArnold, England. England are one of the sides who have made it to the last 16 and will take on Senegal in the next round. Jordan Henderson played a part off of the bench in match day 2, but started in the final group game against Wales. As for Trent AlexanderArnold, he made his first appearance of the tournament off of the bench against Wales, replacing Kyle Walker after 57 minutes. England are expected to get past Senegal, and if they do, they'll take on either France or Poland in the quarterfinals. Canate, France. France are another side that have made it to the last 16 of the competition, and as I mentioned in the last segment, will take on Poland. Canate has been a mainstay in the France side, and is expected to play a big part in the round of 16 clash and going forward should they make it. Darwin Nunes, Uruguay. As for Darwin Nunes and his homeland, their time in Qatar was brought to an end after they finished third in their group after a very eventful final match day. Darwin will likely go to Dubai and link up with the rest of the Liverpool players after a few days off. Virgil Van Dijk, Netherlands. Virgil van Dijk and his country are already through to the quarterfinals after defeating the USA and will now take on Lionel Messi's Argentina in the quarterfinals. Like Canate, Virgil van Dijk has been a mainstay in the Dutch side. Alisson and Fabinho, Brazil. Brazil will battle for a place in the quarterfinals as they take on South Korea in the next round. Alisson started in the first 2 games of the group and is expected to start against South Korea, whereas Fabinho has only made his first appearance in the final group game against Cameroon, and it doesn't look like he will start against Korea. Finally, Liverpool have seen another member of staff depart the club this week, with former coach Michael Beale building his backroom team at Rangers. Beale last week was appointed the manager of Glasgow Rangers after departing his role as QPR boss. Now he has begun the task of putting together his backroom staff, which has included 3 appointments from the supporting cast at QPR. Joining Damien Matthew, Neil Banfield and Harry Watling on the backroom at Rangers, a new arrival from Liverpool with Dr. Jack Aid departing Merseyside after almost 7 years. Dr. Aid held the combined role of elite fitness development and under-21s fitness coach since his arrival in 2016, but is now left to become the head of performance at Rangers. Liverpool fans, who would you like to see the club sign in the January transfer window? And how many additions do you think the club need? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.